Top of the morning, y'all. It's your boy Zaire. Battle done. I'm looking at the news this morning and I see that California is going to release 76,000 prisoners early. This is an early release. Wow. Now, I'm in New York. New York State has 19 million people in its population. Okay. That's 19 million people in the state. There's 12 million of those 19 million people located within the 5 boroughs: Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island. 12 million people. Long Island. So that's basically the lower half of New York. That doesn't count Yonkers, White Plains, Mount Vernon's, Westchester, Rockland, Buffalo, Jamestown, Rochester, Syracuse. We literally have 12 million people just in New York City, right? Now in California, if you look at California's population, right? Let's look at this for a second together. We can look at this together. Right? Okay. Let me show y'all something real quick. All right. So check this out, right? Show y'all this real quick. So 76,000 inmates. This is big. Honestly, I want to say this is really good. This is really huge. And it's a good look for 76,000 people. Let me see something. Pardon me for a second, guys. Let me just put this. Okay, yeah. So, like I was saying, 76,000 inmates is something that, we don't, that's not a number that we get all the time. 76,000. I believe Barack released a few thousand people from the federal penitentiary. But, 76,000 is not something that we hear every day. So, what I wanted to do was, okay, California has 115. Wow. Wow. So listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Mm-mm-mm. I wanna read this article to you guys. California's prison population 115,000 inmates, right? So their prison population is at around 115,000. So California has given 76,000 inmates, including violent and repeat felons, the opportunity to leave prison earlier as the state aims to further trim the population of what once was the nation. Pardon me, the nation's largest state correctional system. More than 63,000 inmates convicted of violent crimes will be eligible for good behavior credits that shorten their sentences by 1/3 instead of the 1/5 that had been in place since 2017. Wow, that's a big. So you figure, like they said, instead of shortening it by 1/5, 20%, they're shortening your term by 33% or more. So you have 9 years. Let's say you have 9 years. Instead of them cutting your term to, let's say, 2.5 years, it's just taking 2.5 years off with or 2 years with 33%. You would be getting 3.5 years, 3 years cut off of your time. So I think that's actually good. So it says this includes nearly 20,000 inmates who are serving life sentences with the possibility of parole. The new rules take effect Saturday, but it will be months or years before any inmates go free earlier. Corrections officials say the goal is to reward inmates who better themselves, while critics said the move will endanger the public. Under the change, more than 10,000 prisoners convicted of a second serious but nonviolent offense under the state's three strikes law will be eligible for release after serving half of their sentence. So basically, what that's saying is if a person was to be incarcerated in 2008 for a violent offense, they come home in 2012 or 13, and they go back in 2015 to 16 for a nonviolent offense. What that means is now, under this, in order to be eligible for what they're trying to incorporate, they would have to be good and they would be eligible to go home after half of their time. So that's actually good. As of Saturday, all minimum security inmates in work camps, including those in firefighting camps, will be eligible for the same month of earlier release for every month they spend in the camp, regardless of the severity of their crime. Wow, that's big. That's big because you could have you could most likely have like a drug crime and be in the max or a medium. You could be in the medium rather. Let me say it's more likely be in the medium, and they drop you down to a minimum facility, which would be a camp. And when they do that, you pretty much have people coming from the outside coming to see you, people bringing you stuff from the outside, bringing you food and everything. It's different like when you're in a medium where they're sending you packages, mailing you packages. In the minimum facility, it's more so like you're eating outside food all the time. It's like a lot. It's totally different than what anyone would think prison is. That's why they call it a camp. That's why they call them camps. And which the camps really were initially plantations. So the goal, quote, the goal is to increase incentives for the incarcerated population to practice good behavior and follow the rules while serving their time and participate in rehabilitative and educational programs, which lead to safer prisons. This is by the department spokeswoman Dana Simas. Additionally, these changes would help to reduce the prison population by allowing incarcerated persons to earn their way home sooner. CMAS provided the emergency regulations and estimates of how many inmates they will affect at the request of the Associated Press. The department now must submit permanent regulations next year. They will be considered by a public hearing and opportunity for public comment. You don't have to be good to get good time credits. People who lose good time credits for misconduct get them back. They don't stay gone. They could get a useful device for managing the population if they had more teeth in them, but they don't. They're in reality just a giveaway. California, the state in itself, has been under court orders to reduce a prison population that peaked at 160,000. California's prison population was at 160,000 in 2006. Inmates being housed in gym. I remember that. I do remember that because in 2004, 2003, I remember the inmates being, they had to shut down a college. They shut down the college that wasn't even hardly being used. They said, you know what, we're just going to shut this down. We're going to send the inmates, we're going to send the students to a whole other school, and we're going to use the gymnasium and put bunk beds in them and allow the inmates to stay there. This is what they were doing. They were putting them in gymnasium and activity rooms. What also amazed me was when I found out that California inmates fight fires. It amazed me. Before the pandemic hit, the population dropped to 117,000 inmates. In the last year, 21,000 more have left state prisons, without about half being held temporarily in county jails. So, Democratic lawmakers, advocacy groups, they've been calling for further release or shortened sentences as well. So the California United responsible for the budgets, which is earlier in April, said that the state should shutter at least 10 more of its 35 prisons. That's insane. That's a lot. It's a lot. And 35 is a lot. It's only due to the population because, I think New York was at around like 56,000, maybe like 53,000. And it's been but it's slowly decreasing. Actually, let me look that number up for you guys. It's slowly decreasing. I know New York State is slowly decreasing. DV Doug, top of the morning. Salute to DV Doug. Let me get this off right here for y'all because let me see. Let me find this other one. Pardon me. Let me see what New York. We can find out what New York is. That's easy. New York is probably, see what I'm saying? So since 1983, the prison custody population has increased 53%. In 2018, there were 47,361 people in the New York prison system. So New York doesn't really get like out of hand. Like in 2016, it was 77,000. In 15, it was 78. So as you can see, like it was slowly dropping. In 15, it was 78. Towards the end of 15, 76, like within 3 months in 2015, you saw 2,000 inmates leave. In 2016, it dropped. So, it just kept dropping. But 150,000 inmates, 114, 130, like that's too much. I'm glad that these people are definitely going home. But that's all, man. Love, life, and loyalty is the motto. Stay safe, stay real, and stay true. You rock with me, I rock with you. Stay tuned, you guys. I will definitely be back later on with more news. Peace.